Couldn't even hear me. Oh, Bobby Hound here, woof woof. Sorry, I had a son had a flat tire, so I was working on his tire for the last couple hours, and I just got upstairs. So, hi. I'm getting this ready, Sean. You drive safe, sir. All right, so I believe this is the last box of Find the Ted that I have. It's gonna happen. This is a really loose-fitting upper deck cello, so not sure what that's all about. Gotta love those bright orange packs. All right. Let's get into this. Ooh, nice. Haven't seen one of those in a while, so with the crimping of the packs, sometimes you had a card slide up in it. It's probably good that it wasn't this priceless Manny Ramirez, that's for sure. Raul Mondesi. Dickie Thon, Deep Thoughts. Yeah, this Darren Lewis cracks me up. He's got a crowd, you know. Darren Lewis, he had a crowd back in the day. Man, that is tough. They hammered that one. What's up, PAX ASMR? Hope you're well. It is a never-ending hunt, that's for sure. Here's a Steve Harvey. No, excuse me, Steve Hosey. That'd be great if it was Steve Harvey. Rondell White. So Saberhagen with a towel on his head. I don't know if there are some interesting ones in here. Okay, so Bob Welch with his kid. That's kind of cool. One of the last sales, we had the McGuire one where his kid is with him and he's like covering his face. And that's the one they went with. So sure that child was very happy later on. Bud Black. There's Paul O'Neill. Shout out to Red Light and his Reds. There's Gary Sheffield with his iconic batting stance. So when we would play like wiffle, t-ball, whatever in the backyards during middle and high school, I can remember that was the thing that we would just go through a bunch of different stances. All right, here is another prospect, another Steve Hosey, and another Rondell White. Double up. Dave Otto. So he was the original Dave Otto. If you were to able to get anything kind of like autographed, it would have been Leaf signature, would have been about the only product that might have had him back in the day. Might have. I couldn't tell you for sure. Well, there's McGuire. Is that a broken bat? Yeah. It's interesting. Snapping the bat there. And another Manny. So we are doubling up on the prospects as well as the Mondesi. Yeah, their collation was kind of wonky. That's for sure. So far, all the prospects we've got 2 of. What's up, Pops? Hope you're doing well. Oh boy. Billy Hatcher. And Ricardo looking so cool. Oh, the GTA San Andreas theme. Well, it's not really, but it sounds much like that, or like some SoCal rap. We got Mark Newfield, and I was gonna say Turk Wendell, but it is Ryan Hoblitzel. Couldn't say that I remember him. I'm a Cubs guy, and I don't remember him. The Julio Franco stance was always a good one too, yeah. The Ken Griffey. All right, here is the first Ted Williams of the common variety. Then we have a Dimitri Young and Jeremy Burnitz. Burnitz, I can remember his cards being like top load worthy back in the day. You know, we were limited supplies. It could have just been because I was a kid, but if a card made it to a top load, man, that was big time. Almost done with the first stack. John Don Gleaton. What a great name. Or is it Jeremy? Jerry, excuse me. Jerry Don Gleaton. Very southern name. There's Dennis Boyd. Speaking of Ken Griffey, but that is senior. George Bell pointing at where he hit the ball. Mark Smith and Dave Nilsson. So it looks like every prospect so far has had a twin, a different prospect with it. What's up, Clinton? There's Jeff Bagwell. Mark Woolers. And the twin, or a different one, is Joey Hamilton. Joey. I watched that new Superman. So every time I hear Joey, now I think of the way that guy says it for his kid. Joey! All right. Another autograph signer. It seems like they got a lot of those photos. I'm not sure if Pete's still here. There's a few people who popped in while I was going live. So there's Sean Green. Shout out to Jeff and his Blue Jays. And then Tyler Green. So we had 2 greens, no relation, in a pack. Another Sheffield stance. Milt. So there's one of the triple or multiple exposures. It's the Canseco. Again, those are, you know, common cards and whatnot, but they were collectible, still kind of collectible. If you go to ComC or something like that, people are still asking a buck or so for a card. All right, first stack gone. Let's go to the right hand side, the bottom. So I was telling Clinton, a buddy of mine who owns a shop, I'm going to be doing some work for him, doing some graphic design, doing a new logo for him, as well as helping him promote the shows. As many of you know, my background, I did show promotion for like 10 years here in Denver, back when shows didn't make any money. And yeah, things have changed. But I'm looking at getting back in for my own shows as well. And James actually took over my shows when I wasn't able to do them. I did not see that. Why are they in danger? I suppose I should watch the video. You know, I'm sure you can't really sum it up, right? Another prospect, Jeff Plimpton. Sounds like a cartoonist. Eduardo Perez. Eduardo. Billy Ripken. I don't know if I have this one set aside. So I like those weird, unique cards. Joe Carter is very sure of himself. Scott Lewis looks like he's like skateboarding. He's doing some kind of trick there. Like, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but Beckett used to do this thing in the Reader's Right, where, you know, people would make a collage of sorts of like their card. They put something together. So this would have been a candidate where somebody would have put like a little skateboard there and then sent it off to get featured. What's up, JJ? Mike Felder. We got excuse me, Kurt Miller with Tom Nevers. So I think we've got all of the prospects. I think it's like 30, roughly that many. So if we're looking at making a set, maybe we're pretty good. But I am not looking at making a set. Just rumors at the moment. Who's making the rumors? I think if RGL says it's so, I'll believe it. He's got the inside track. You would think that they would be doing well, considering the market for everything is just crazy. There's Greg Jeffries. And Chris Glynn is doing the craziest slide ever. Whee! Robin Yount. Trucking along. Mark Gubik's all the names of yesteryear. The amazing mullet of Yvonne Calderon, where he had like a mullet and his soul glow at the same time. It was crazy. David Zancanaro. And then John Farrell. So I don't think we got those. So maybe I didn't identify all of the ones. Well, that's kind of cool. Mark Eichhorn with some servicemen. I'll put that in my different photo ones. So far, only one Ted Williams hero. It's kind of weird. What's up with that? But I guess if I'm going to get one, the only one I really do want is the signed one. So let's see. Let's see if it'll do that. There's Dion. Ryan Sandberg with Otis Nixon sliding. That's a Superman pose right there for sure. Dale Murphy. Another Sean Green and Tyler. So the Greens live together in the pack. There's Bobby Thompson in his playing days. Yeah, so that's why I started late. For those who are just coming in now, working on my son's tire. He had a flat, so we spent a couple hours getting all that stuff done. I think that happens a lot in parking lots around here. A lot of construction, nails and stuff like that being thrown about. picked up on someone's tire and thrown out in the middle of the street. There's Joey Hamilton again and Mike Woolers. If you can remember who was the one who posted the video, Clinton, let me know. I'll make you a mod too, Clinton, since you're always here. And you're my homie. And I trust you. Another Robin Yount. So yeah, this is a dupe pack. And it's all in the same order as that previous one. Pudge. Luis Polonia. Oh, that's cool. Eric Davis wearing a shirt that says Eric Davis fan club member. That's ironic, right? Only one rookie. No, wait. Ah, there was two. Oh, you don't have to thank me. I'll make you work. I don't think I've seen multi-bats on any of these. So that's another thing that I'm putting together is like multi-bat cards. You know, someone holding a bunch of them or standing next to a bunch of bats. Oh, another towel. Chuck Finley. Must be a pitcher thing. Keeping themselves warm and ready. There's the Hawk. It's a pretty cool one. Dimitri Young. And then Burnett's again. There's our second. Teddy. That is number 34 of 36. I am putting together the Heroes set. The only one I don't have a lot of was the Maze, which was like 93. For some reason, I just didn't have a lot of those. Sean is still here. Yep. Drive safe, man. 10-2. Warren Newsom. I don't remember him. Shout out to Johnny and his socks, but couldn't tell you who the heck that is. Keith Mitchell. Was Keith and Kevin are related, right? I think. Here's Carlos Baerga. I always liked his play. Same with Wangan. Oh, the ultimate. We got the Chris Sabo. Ryan Hoblitzel. And then Mark Melfield again. Brothers. Okay. Yeah, I knew they're related because I think they're pretty sure they have a card where they're together where it's like the family business or something. Related by mustache? Oh, man. All right, if I can get to the card. There's Tim Belcher. Cecil Fielder, best power, which isn't an insert. It fools me every time. Oh, my goodness. That is the fakest smile. The whitest teeth as well. That's insane. Don Paul. That's like, it sounds like a cigarette, right? Paul Mall. Don Paul. Get yourself a pack of Don Paul. Smoke up, Johnny. That Sabo is cool, though. That would be the first checklist. And that's a Fred McGriff. Interesting angle for San Diego's stadium. Raul Mondesi. And then Icorn. So instead of a rookie in this one, it was this card. Interesting. So far it's always two, except for that one. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Clinton. You got me confused. Brian Smith. Ozzie Guillen. Edgar Martinez actually fielding, not DHing at that particular time. I think he was. Did he play first base sometimes? Is that what it was? Third base. Actually, I'm going to take that and put that in my book, because you don't have many of him fielding. Otis Nixon with his turtleneck. And I'm not saying that, Willie McGee with his turtleneck. And I'm not saying that he's wearing a turtleneck. Yep, these are only one rookie per stack. So that's interesting. I'm thinking that you want that card, Clinton, right? I'm going to give it to you for free so that you can look at it often. Oh, the cigarettes guy. Gotcha. There's Cal Ripken on the Diamond Skills. Scott Cooper. I wonder if they called him Coop. And then Paul Awesomemacher, as we called him back in the day. Or I might have just been the only person that called him that. I don't know if he even deserved to have that name. Eric Davis, Superman. Sean Dunston, I believe. Upper Deck Heroes game, August 16th. I wonder if that was an actual game. Dimitri Young. All right, so we have this stack left, and then this is what's left of, I think that was top left. But what's really weird is the format has been completely different. All of the ones in the bottom two rows or stacks had two different rookies in each one, and then now these ones at the top only has one. And usually the correlation is the same throughout, so it's a head scratcher. There's Sammy. Slammin' Sammy Sosa. Is that Delino de Shields, maybe? Do you love the artwork of Vernon Wells? Amazing artwork. Let's see if we can get another Ted Williams. So far, it's only had one Ted per stack, which is very limited. I want to say that the last one I did, there was like 15 of them. So why so little? Tom Flash Gordon, wearing some crazy shades. I met him, Tom Gordon, a few times at the National. He was one of the free autograph guests several years in a row, actually. Howard Johnson, Mets Magic. That's probably like the fourth Woolers. So 4 more in this stack, and then what are each of those? Is it 36 packs total, right? So what, 12? No. Math. 3, 6, 9 per stack. Someone named Pete Shorick. Dom might know who that is. I don't. A lot of these that are fan favorites, you know, in quotes, fan favorites, people who living around that team or that's their team would know the players, but anybody else is like, who? Kurt McCaskill. There's Barry Larkin. John Kruk. And Sean Green, all by his lonesome. Tyler's not in the pack. Armando Reynoso. I do remember when he was a Rocky, but I don't remember him as a Brave. Sure, we just got the scraps. When they had the expansion draft, we ended up with, like, you know, everybody who people didn't put on their squad. I forget how many players it was that were in that expansion, but there was a lot of people picked up in the expansion draft that ended up staying with the team too. It was an exciting time here in Colorado. Is it Bob Walk? What's his? No, Doug Graybeck. And then a David Zancanario something. Dan Pasquale telling him, I'm safe. You listen to me. Mike Musina, Moose. That's an interesting one there. Didn't realize that Canseco was so tall. Or maybe it's Ricky just so short or something. Ricky thinks Ricky needs some platforms, some lifts in his shoes. Ray Lankford. So yeah, each one of these now has had these. Tom Nevers. Last pack in the left-hand side top. Kevin Morton. There's Dave Stewart. Mike Sims. That's a weird picture. What is he doing with the bat? There we go. Shout out to Alan Wade Boggs. Also doing, not a Superman, but he's protecting the body. Mike Boddicker. There's Oral Hershiser with some cool aviators on. Vince Carter. Or excuse me, Vince Coleman. I'm going basketball in my brain. I'm telling you, I'm off today. Eduardo Perez, and then Jeff Reed. All right, last one in that stack. So just for luck, see if I can't get. Yeah, there was no Williams in that stack at all. So far I've only had two, which is very bizarre. Like I was saying, that was a really loose-fitting cello on that. I can't imagine how someone would search through. Whoa. Okay. I am very confused now. Let me look at that pack. Is that a low series one? I'll look through it later. It's just that threw me off. So shout out to Sean though, that one of the ones from the gold is the Astros, which this is the only year they had the gold version. It wasn't limited or anything. It's just I think we're trying out different foil. I mean, if you go by the odds and so far what we've got, it's definitely short printed, but I don't think that was the case. I think this is just a really weird box. And there's... Is that silver? Man, this is a very bizarre box. Nope, that's gold. Blue Jays. Seriously, if you watch the other breaks I've done for this, there wasn't any splits like that before where like the holograms were only in certain things. There's Keith and Kevin together. Very bizarre pose though, or the way they did that, because it makes them look so tiny. Eric King, Dan Plezak, Chuck Noblaw, Pedro Guerrero, Jose Rio, Barry Bonds when he was smiling. Don't see that often. And Pedro Ramon. We got another Brothers card. There is no hologram in these or rookie. Oh boy. So far, 2 Ted Williams and 2 gold hollow stickers. That's the best stuff, but that is just the collation going off the rails. Sans mustache, Don Mattingly. I mean, later in life he did that a lot, but during this time, that was definitely a new thing. Albert Joey Bell, Mo Sanford, and we got the Stay in School. Jim Abbott on a ancient computer. Five left. Who? Barry Jones running some laps or something. John Smiley. Roberto Alomar. There is the Cincinnati Reds. Shout out to Red Light again. That is his team. Mark Leiter. Hojo with his kid. So it's the second kid card. First one that had the kid on the front. Finally got a rookie in Carlos Rodriguez. I think that's the first one. Your last box was like this. You opened the last one a week ago. Gotcha. Well, tag me in it when you post it. I will go check it out. Jamie Navarro taking a nap on a base. I guess that's kind of a cool, different one. I don't know. I'm kind of running into the realm of like not so interesting with some of these I'm picking out so far. It's got to have something weird in it, like some of the ones that I have that are like this. I have this one already in a stack. A very bizarre one, and just the angle position where he's at. Why? Bob Wickman. I think that is a new one too. Now you're getting gas. Right on. You hated those kid cards? Is it because you hated kids, or you just didn't like your players having their kids on there, or because it was a thing that people thought they had to do or something? It was Dean Palmer, who at one time or another had some good pop. Like, let's see, second year, 15 home runs. Which isn't bad. Kirby Puckett. Another Barry. Steve Farr, and then David McCarty. 2 to go. I know when I was a kid, I wasn't like a fan of kids because it always seemed like they were crying and making noise, and you know, there's Bo. What the heck? That is an interesting photo. I still don't know if that's worthy for the different stack, but I'll put it to the side for now. Benito Santiago, Greg Jeffries, Rico Brogna, and then finally a Ted Williams. But man, we're looking at so far 3. That is the lowest number I've ever had out of a box. I mean, it may, you know, if you open something like that, you'd be like, wow, these Ted Williams are very hard pulls. Which, you know, anybody who's seen the prices on, man, Tim Raines looks pissed. Seen the prices on them, and he's happy there. They're not, you know, expensive. They're like, what, 50 cents, maybe a quarter. Phillies. Shout out to Pete. That's his team. Shout out to Nick. That was his team. Dave Winfield. Tony Pena. Andy Van Slyke. And the last card, Joey Vitello or Viteo. That is crazy that I only had 2 Teds. 3, excuse me. You put aside all the cards with the people signing autographs? Nice. So then you probably know the count, if there is a count, on how many there are in the set. Seems like there would be a good amount. So it was way more than I thought. Looks like 50 through 70 something for the rookies here. Okay. I don't think there's a lot of duplicates either, so I mean, strike that. There were some of them that had 4, so I guess there are a few. Not too many in the 70s. Yeah, there was 1 of each from 70 to 77. $62 for 23 gallons of gasoline. Huh. All right, where's 69 at? There we go, 69. That's crazy. So 169, whole bunch of 68s and 67s. $166 so far. 65, 64. Wait, there's another 66. A few 63s. So definitely could make a set. Again, why would I want to? Don't know. Had a 60 in there. I keep missing them. Uh-oh. Is there a 51? Maybe that's where it starts, though. I don't know if there's a rookie of 51. I think it's safe to say that there's one of each of the prospects. 67, 67. And the 67 was Joey Hamilton. Yeah, I think there was a couple of Mannies. So I think the most out of this that was pulled was one or two of each. But I'll let everybody get to their Wednesday night. Apologies for the lateness of the video. I think the next one I have is Donruss doing the Elite Hunt. Down to at least the last two boxes of upper deck stuff. I need to restock. But if anybody's noticed or been out searching for like a lot of this junk wax era stuff, I think people just went crazy and opened so much of it that there's hardly any left. Or it's just too expensive and it's living somewhere else. Yeah, I think I'll keep all these for the crazy stuff, and then I'll keep this with my toast cards. That goes next to this one, where the putting together of the pack destroyed it. I'm getting a little collection going. Have a good night. We'll catch y'all on Sunday. I think the next thing going on is Jeff's break on Thursday. Then, tonight, obviously, RGL is live. Go check him out. And any of the smaller ones like Electra, Philly, JTS, I haven't seen in a while is Peds. I need to go say hello to Peds sometime. But yeah, everybody have a wonderful, wonderful night.